Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, and that means it's another BRAP. Hey, everyone. Look, I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with us. Really, really appreciate it, as always. Do me a favor. I'm going to actually drop a link here in the live chat. If you could do me a favor and retweet the link or drop the link on your favorite social media platform. But... oh God! Here we go. Yeah. I don't. I guess that PSVR 2 is trash apparently, but anyhow. So look, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and we have a returning guest. It's been quite some time since we've had this gentleman on, and he's no stranger to gaming, and runs a weekly podcast too with gaming persona called "What's Up PlayStation." And it's one of the better gaming podcasts out there. They've had a lot of industry guests on, some great conversation with those guests, and just great conversation in terms of games and games that they're playing. So want to welcome back to the show, Jay Bari. What's up, Bari?
Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jay Bari here. Yo, BRAP, man, appreciate the invite, man. A lot of spicy and good news, in my opinion, this week, and we're only like halfway through.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate the invite. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a good one. So let's get it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And Bari, what's that? I smell greatness, man. What is that?
Yes, sir. That PlayStation fragrance, man. You spray that thing on you every day. If you're staying in the house, if you got to go outside of work, if you got to go outside to get some food, spray that thing on you all day. And, people's going to be more attracted to talk to you. You know what I mean? You're just going to be smelling good, feeling good. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing when you play on PlayStation,
man. No doubt, man. And I got to say, man, I really do enjoy listening to you in persona. What's up, PlayStation? You know, I got to say, like, there's very, like, few... Well, I would say on the other platform, there are very few platform-specific podcasts that actually talk about games and don't run with conspiracy theories and look to push disinformation, misinformation, and just talk about video games. Just talk about the things that they enjoy. To talk about this hobby that we all love. To talk about this form of entertainment that brings a smile to our face. So I gotta say, Bart, that's what I'm saying. It is always good listening to you guys because you guys talk about games. You guys play games. You guys have industry people on. And yeah, it's just, look, if you haven't done so already, please check out What's Up PlayStation Podcast. It really is a great show. It's just, again, Bart, my hat off to you guys because it really is one of the few podcasts that actually really just keeps it gaming. So thank you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? Me and Persona, we had a goal that we want to set, a PlayStation centric podcast where we're not really, we're not talking about, Xbox or Nintendo or anything like that. We're just focused on PlayStation and, giving our criticisms, our praises, our love or hate, and just being real with the community, man. And, we play a lot of games, so we just talk about it as well, pretty much.
Yeah. And you guys are on social media. I mean, a lot of these. Look, man. But Barry, and I'm not trying to make this an Xbox versus PlayStation thing, but I might just a little bit because I feel a little spicy today.
Oh, Henny BRAP?
Yeah, no, not Henny BRAP. Nah, man. Oh man, Henny BRAP retired, bro.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Henny BRAP.
Getting too old, man. We're getting too old, man. Can't be on the Henny all day.
No. I'm not on the Henny BRAP, man. I am on Water BRAP now.
Yeah, lit, healthy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still like to have a beverage on occasion, but man, it's I can't. Yeah, man, I'm getting old now. I can't do like I used to, man.
Absolutely.
But no,
right now, I ain't eating no snack. My snack right now here is tangerines. You know what I mean? So,
hey, that's good. Gotta eat healthy, man. Gotta eat healthy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I try to eat a salad every day. For lunch. Try to keep get my greens in, but no, it's interesting because I lost my train of thought here, but I think what I was saying is like you guys actually like post like gameplay footage. You guys actually talk about video games, and I got to say that And I'm only commenting on my timeline. I know somebody's gonna chime in and be like, oh, BRAP, people in the Xbox community post gameplay too. I mean, yeah, I see some of that, but I see it more. I see more conversation around gaming and passion around gaming, and just like I don't know how to describe it, man. Just a celebration of the art that's gaming, um, and I see that passion primarily from people in the PlayStation community.
Hmm.
And it's not just you. I mean, you guys. Obviously, I see your timeline, and you guys are posting stuff on Twitter, and there's a lot of conversation around games that you're playing, and this is just giving people feedback on some of the experiences you had with some new releases. But I don't see that the other side. The other side, what I'm seeing is, and it's crazy. I got to say sides because we all have a common. This is the crazy thing about it. We all have a common like love, and that's gaming. But for some reason, we've kind of you know put up our fences, and have assigned each other to camps.
Hmm.
But anyhow, that's another conversation. But my point is that I do feel like with the PlayStation community, there tends to be more conversation around actual video games, and like you guys did that Spaces with Final Fantasy 16, talking about that, and had some great dialogue around that. And then with PSVR 2, I mean, Persona was on Crossfire, and it was like just hearing the excitement about PSVR 2 and just the conversation. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about celebrating that thing that we love and playing video games. I mean, God, I mean, we spend a lot of money in this hobby, you know,
Hmm.
and so it's great to see it celebrated. It's great to see people in the community post gameplay and post screenshots of games they're playing, to talk about video games they're looking forward to, and not be so like. And it's just really unfortunate I've seen with the more extreme sides. I'm gonna say extreme sides because somebody thought that I was labeling everyone in the Xbox community as extreme, extremists, and comparing them like QAnon. No, I'm saying those folks that are like on the extreme spectrum of that community are the ones that are behaving that way. But it's sad to see a lot of the conversation around look, Hi-Fi Rush came out. I think the conversation was like 2 days, and then it was back to the ABK deal.
Yeah, yeah, that ABK deal, man.
I mean that
I'm annoyed by it.
I am
I'm done with
too.
it.
It's like, are you playing games or are you playing deals?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, PlayStation makes it very easy to share gameplay. It makes it easy to just capture it, share it, and send it to whatever social media. Most likely, Twitter. Not to take no jabs at Xbox. It's kind of difficult. What I mean, to share gameplay is much more steps, so you're not going to see it as much. But when you come to the conversation, things like that, yeah, that's what I'm experiencing on my timeline as well, because that's why I catered it to be around. Like, yeah, everybody have fun. I participate in the console wars. I make my jokes, and I mean, keep it moving. But at the end of the day, we're here for gaming. I'm a gamer, and I like to share and talk about my experiences with these games. Like, people would think that the two tweets that I joke about Xbox, the week is like all what
Yeah.
I'm tweeting about. Like, nah, what I'm tweeting about is mostly my experiences with games and what I want from PlayStation or what I expect from PlayStation. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, PlayStation has been consistently dropping good games, whether they're from first party, second party, or third party. And yeah, that's what the conversation is surrounded around.
Yeah.
If you're not really dropping games like that, what you, there's nothing you can really expect, from these guys.
Yeah. And you talk about like talking about games and things like that. Like, it's interesting because, I mentioned like Hi-Fi Rush, like the conversation lasted like 2 days. And then it went back to the ABK deal. And again, I'm not saying everyone on the Xbox side of things is like that, but
Yeah, but the thing is, you ain't got to keep. That's the problem with the community. You got to keep saying that because it's obviously common sense that you're not talking about everyone. You're just talking about what you are
oh no,
observing, what you're experiencing.
people have come at me, Bar, like, oh, you've labeled no, I labeled everyone as extremists in the Xbox community. I'm like, no, I haven't done that, but I'm saying that there's elements in there that have the loudest voices in that community, that I see that across my timeline, where it's this obsession with this ABK deal, and the focus isn't like games, and it's like I said this, like, look, man, like I feel like a lot of those people are preoccupied with playing this game of we want Xbox to dominate Sony, and like, look, let's be real, Bari. That's probably not going to happen.
No.
I could be wrong. Never speak in absolutes, but I don't see that happening. You know, I mean,
not with that management.
I don't disagree with
I'm
you
sorry.
there, I don't disagree with you on that. But and look, it's funny. Like I get, it's funny now. My thing is, people come at me like, oh, you're just a pony brap, and I'm like, what's your KD in Halo Infinite? Because I'm on Halo Infinite like almost every day, daily. And remember that? Remember, Bari, the king is back. Remember that? The king is back.
Mm-hmm.
They left the king. They left the king, man. They left the king.
So. Yeah, that ain't no king. That's Burger King. But,
oh man,
nah, man. I got no real. I've played Halo Infinite. The multiplayer, I think the gameplay is sound. It's just a shame that such a game. Halo is a big game for Xbox, and it's a shame that they staggered the the content releases for a live service game like that. You know what I mean? Like, you think about Halo, people are putting it up with like Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Just look at the difference of how Call of Duty put out content, or the Fortnite's put out content, the Apex Legends put out content, compared to another big game like Halo. It wasn't a good look on that. And then
no, yeah. So. Well, since we're talking about Xbox, you and I were talking about Phil Spencer just did a recent interview. He talked about exclusives, and I know some of the, I were as we were talking before we went on air. I think my biggest criticism of Phil is like, let's just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Yeah, Phil talked too much, man. And like, real talk. I have a respect for Phil Spencer, but at the end of the day, you just gotta learn to like, be quiet and just let like Jim Ryan be saying, let the games do the talking, man. Because this guy, he's on an interview every freaking week, every freaking month. He's on a new interview that's talking about stuff that can easily contradict prior things that he said a couple of years ago or a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? Like, now he got a new interview coming out saying that he's not, the whole acquisition thing with Bethesda, he's not trying to take away games that already has been established on other platforms. But then if you were to ask him like, all right, so when is the next the next Elder Scrolls 6, is that coming to PlayStation? I'm pretty sure that's an Xbox exclusive. That's a game that's already had an establishment on other platforms. That's not coming to PlayStation. Hellblade 2, that's a game that launched on PlayStation, and launched second on Xbox. With the first one, Microsoft bought the studio. Hellblade 2 is not coming to PlayStation. You know what I mean? So the things that he keeps saying, like, just be quiet and just go to work and put your games out. I think the most disrespectful thing Xbox have ever done is that 2020 showcase before the X and the S came out. They showed a whole bunch of games coming to Xbox. Oh my goodness, the Series X, the Series S got a whole plethora of games coming, and none of one of those games have released yet. We're in 2023 in March. It's a goddamn shame, but every goddamn month you're doing an interview talking about, oh, we can do better. You're doing an interview about, oh, here's what we're doing. Oh, we want everybody to play games. Everybody is playing games but your first party ones. You know what I mean? You hyped up Game Pass to make it look good, because everybody, when they praise Game Pass, is like, oh, well, I'm here for the first party. It's different than PlayStation Plus because Microsoft offering their first party games day one. But those games don't barely come out, and they got like 30-something studios. You know what I mean? In 3 years, how many first party games came out from Xbox? You know what I'm saying? And majority of the ones that did come out are the ones that already been established, but because they acquired them, you know what I mean, the game is out, like the Psychonauts and that stuff. The games that they have announced since 2020, they're not out. But you're still here yapping your gums on different interviews and different this and that, saying what's this for the gamer, what's that for the gamer, but nobody's playing your games. You see the thing is, Xbox is pretty in tune with the community as far as like what they're seeing. And they know the reason why people praising Game Pass is because first parties offering it. You know what I mean? But like I said, they don't really offer their games a lot like that. These games aren't coming out, but now you want to buy Activision and Blizzard to add on to more of games that you're gonna have to wait to come out. You know what I mean? It's just I don't understand what the hell is going on over there. It's like I feel like they're in this fantasy world and they really believe the shit that they're saying. You know what I mean? Like you're just saying a whole bunch of stuff, but you're not doing anything. You're not producing anything. I think gamers now are at the point where it's just like we listen to Phil Spencer and we're just like, let's see what this guy's saying now. But nobody's really taking his word seriously. It's not like it was 2017, 2018, where people was like, yo, Phil Spencer, yo, he said that, yo, it's my man just did an interview, what, 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days
Normally
ago.
you see everybody doing a podcast about what Phil Spencer is saying. Nobody give a fuck no more because your words ain't matching. It ain't matching the visuals no more, man. It's just more hearsay and more talk.
Yeah, like I said, man, I just think that, look, I've been on the Xbox platform for 20 years. I was an Xbox Live beta tester for those who don't know. But look, my issue with Phil is like you got to show, like you got to deliver, and that's my issue. And there's a quote here by somebody from Intel Innovation Fellow Tom Peterson said this. He said, "There's just no talking in the world that's going to matter. You got to show, you got to do, and talk less, do more." During the rollout, and he's talking about Intel here, you've seen that we're now talking much less. We're going to talk about what we've done, not about what we will do. And what we will do, you'll find out after we are done. It helps set expectations. The last thing I want to do is get beat up because I didn't do something I said I was going to do. That's just distractions and it doesn't help anyone. I'd rather just get beat up for something that I've done. And when I heard Tom Peterson say that from Intel, I'm like, I immediately was like, oh, that's Phil Spencer to me. Like, that's what you should be doing, Phil. You should talk less, do more. Let people judge you on what you've done.
One of my favorite quotes of all time come from Batman Begins. You know what I mean? If you know me, this quote. This is me. This is Jay Barry. This is on every social media platform that I have. Heck, it might be on my PSN as well. Where in Batman Begins, Bruce was coming out of like a hotel with like two bad international girls, and he sees Rachel, and Rachel is shocked, not really shocked, but Rachel's giving him this look, and Bruce is looking at her like, yo, Rachel, this is not me. You know me. This is not me. Rachel hits him with a quote. It's not who you are underneath.
Yep.
But it's the things that you do that defines you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that hit him. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everybody can just have their hearsay and say that, yeah, I'm a good person. But you out here robbing people. You know what I mean? Are people going to view you as a good person? If you're out here disrespecting people, are people going to view you as a good person? No, people are going to judge you and define you by your actions. What are we defining Phil Spencer as? In my opinion, Phil Spencer is just somebody that just talks. You know what I mean? The man been talking since he got his positions with Xbox or with Microsoft. Just talk. You know what I mean? I don't feel like Phil Spencer has like a plan. He's just going along with the wind as far as like what's to come to Microsoft or how we can alleviate all this pressure from Xbox. You know what I mean? Just to make it look good. But at the end of the day, like you're not really setting the bar for anything. You're not really putting out games that's genre defining. You're not doing any of that stuff. You're just going along with the wind. And every single goddamn year, we are hearing the same quotes from him. We know we got to do better. Every year since 2019, the man has said the same quotes. We know we got to do better. If you got to say the same thing every year to your consumers, You know what I mean? And that's all, in my opinion, that's all Xbox gamers need to make them feel good. Oh, you dropped one game last year. Oh, we know we could do better, and we're gonna do better this year. Oh, I feel good now, Phil. You know what I mean? That's it. This man has been saying the same quote every time, apologizing to Xbox fans and, you know, promising better, and he has not delivered yet. In my personal opinion,
I
he
don't
has not
I
delivered
don't I
yet.
don't think he has either, man. And look, I've been on the Xbox platform for 20 something years. I was day one on the original Xbox Live beta tester, and I could tell you different mentality, different different deliverables, tangible deliverables on the original Xbox and 360. I haven't seen it. I hope it changes. And look, I'll say this, Phil. I'll give him credit. He did introduce Game Pass, and I think Game Pass is a tremendous value proposition for people.
We got Game Pass is nothing different. It's nothing different than what's the difference between Game Pass and PlayStation Plus? It's the same. It's the same functionality. Or what's the difference between that and Games with Gold? It's the same functionality. It's a catalog of games being offered. I mean, whether it can be new or old. The only thing that can set it apart is the promise of first party games being in there day and date.
Well,
But
I
you're
think
not really getting them shits. You're not really
yeah.
getting
Well,
them how much game.
yeah. The one part where I might disagree with you, Jay Barry, is where yeah, I think at its core, it's similar in terms of some of the other things you mentioned, but I think where Microsoft kind of took it to another level was like you said, included first party, but they're also looking to expand Game Pass outside that traditional walled garden that we have in gaming. Outside of the traditional console space. So I think that's a difference. But again, I mean, like, I also don't think that like
It's not different in my opinion. It's not different because yes, other services might not offer first party games day and date, but there's other games that they partner with this day and date.
yeah.
There's no different. Majority of the games that's day and date from Game Pass are from third party, where they do those deals with like the Outriders or whatnot. Not from first party. That first party praise that people have that sets it apart. You're not really getting nothing from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not really getting nothing from there. You get most of that stuff from third party deals that they're paying for to put in there. It's no different than what PlayStation does with PlayStation Plus that pay for third party deals to get in their day and date, like a game like Chia or a game like Stray, or you know what I mean. Like it's not really different. Microsoft, you get your little sprinkle here and there from first party that finally comes out, and that's it.
Yeah, and I can tell you for me, like when I subscribed to Game Pass, I bought it. I bought it based on the idea of having first party because honestly, like a catalog of games for me personally just doesn't move the needle for me. Like I don't care to have access to hundreds of games. Like that just doesn't move the needle for me. I understand it moves the needle for other people, but for me, for BRAP, it just doesn't do it for me. So that and that's what I'm waiting for. Like I'm waiting for those first party games. Because you think about it, or as I think about it, like $70 games or whatever the case is, $70 games now. If they could drop 3 of those like $70 AAA bangers that I like in that game, then hey, then my ROI is great. I've made up that 180 plus some. So that's why I look at it, and that's what I'm waiting for. But let me grab the super chat real quick. Ekin with the $5 super chat says $5 super chat. Thank you for that. It says, dude, I work with games on Xbox. Waiting on Starfield. Said it's been dry this generation. I'm thinking I got a PS5 and can keep up with all the games. So thank you for that super chat, Ekim. So all right, Barry, I wanna get to PlayStation VR 2 because you have it. I heard Persona talk about it on Crossfire. Is that I hear Slow-Mo?
Yo, yeah, what's up, man? What's up,
Slow-Mo?
What's good, man?
Chilling.
King KD.
Stop it.
Look, man, hey, Barry, if you're playing COD and you want to win like 20 games in a row.
Oh, he's good.
Barry's good too?
He can win 20 games in a row all by himself. He don't need me.
I mean, I hear good things about Slow-Mo, man.
Slow-Mo's good. Slow-Mo's good.
I'm okay.
You being modest. You being modest.
What did Super Chat say? From Moneybags.
Oh, Moneybags 97 with the $5 super chat says, Jay, you say no different, but you bash but you bash it, it's way different. Stop it, man.
I don't. Let me check you. One second. If you're gonna super chat my name and if you're gonna have a super chat, put my name in it. Make sure it's a good one. Okay. I don't. My reason and how I speak about Game Pass, I don't bash Game Pass because I always tell people it's a value. There's certain things that precedents that Game Pass have set within the community of gamers that I speak to, and they tell me that I don't like. You know what I mean? So the actual value that Game Pass proposes, I think is a great thing. I think it belongs within the industry, but I just don't like what I'm seeing. And to this day, I don't think nobody can prove me wrong or have a actual strong basis as far as like, oh, Barry, no, here's why you're wrong. Like Game Pass has introduced to a lot of people on that platform that they don't want to buy the games. I don't like that. You know what I mean? I'm not taking away the value proposition it offers, but I see these things. I've talked to these people. I talked to many people. They don't want to buy no games. Also, I don't like when it comes to Microsoft, because they're not really putting out games like that. I don't like that whole Game Pass. I feel like they develop games within Game Pass. So they're not really trying to put out any genre defined. They're not trying to set any bar. They're just putting out games just to be within the status quo, and we can develop it from there within Game Pass. Similar to like a games as a service type model with all their games. A game from Microsoft that came out that really is like genre defining, that's setting bars, that's moving the needle. Like this is what this genre is based off of. Because Microsoft has set the bar within this game. You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, I don't really see that stuff, and we started to see that stuff ever since the introduction of Game Pass.
Well, my only thing, real quick, Barry, I would say that I disagree with is that they weren't making genre defining games before Game Pass. I agree with the whole like people not buying games. Well, I see that all the time, and like you see a game that's awesome, and it's like, oh, that looks cool. Is it in Game Pass? Like I hate the question, because it's just like I already know what the next answer is if it's not in Game Pass. I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna wait till it goes in Game Pass. You don't even know if it's going in Game Pass. So what are you waiting? You're literally, this is a game you want to play, but you're not gonna spend money on it for, like, you're really hurting that developer and yourself, because you're depriving yourself of an experience, as well as depriving that developer of a potential sale. But like before Game Pass, what was they making that was genre defined? Nothing had been genre defining since Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears of War.
And Gears of War was a generation well before that. Like, I mean, they haven't defined genre defining.
The thing is, like, yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's just like when you see these reports, oh, my Xbox is doing better than ever before, they're making all this money, but you don't really see like what it's really doing or what it's really going to, other than getting all these third-party games that they're paying buku bucks for it to get into their service. You're not really seeing it from the first-party standpoint. And here's another dumb tweet that super chat talking about Blockbuster.
Yeah, let me get Moneybag 97 $2 super chat says, you must not grew up Blockbuster days.
Yeah, I grew up in Blockbuster days. Blockbuster is a third party source. It's not like Blockbuster make games and they're putting their games in there in the rental service. It's a different thing. It's an outsourced type of thing.
Moneybag's probably the same guy gets upset if somebody says Game Pass is a rental service, but then he's comparing it to Blockbuster, I think. So
yeah, but it is. I mean, all of them are rental services.
But I don't disagree with you, Slummo. Like that's actually you're kind of like, yeah, they haven't had anything genre defying in quite some time.
And they didn't even make that. That was Epic. They never owned Epic. So really, I mean, technically only Halo Combat Evolved was genre defining. And the only reason why they could say they did that is because they bought Bungie before Halo Combat Evolved came out.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say that, but like outside of that one game, like, I mean, what else? Like everything else that, like, you go back to original Xbox One, right? The best games that people could think of from that console are games that they didn't make. They didn't make themselves. Knights of the Old Republic, Bungie. I mean, sorry, not Bungie. BioWare. They never owned them. You know, like it's all these amazing games, but they were third party, or they may have published it, but it was made by someone they didn't own. And yeah, they have never been that kind of publisher, unfortunately, which is why it's so difficult for people to wrap their head around them owning all these studios and being on the level of like a Nintendo and a Sony when it comes to being a publisher of making their own games on their own platform of that particular caliber or quality. It's like, but you haven't done that before. What you've done is just when you had a hit, you bought it or you bought the company and then continued on with that hit, but you never actually cultivated it yourself, which is something that like some people tend to get like upset about. But I mean, where's the lie? Like, you should just name a game. Somebody in the chat, name a game that they developed from scratch, that from a studio that they owned, that was just like genre defining. It changed the game. People, okay, we like the way that we've been laughing about like last year when people was like, man, Elden Ring had to do XYZ, because now all these devs gonna say, well, because Elden Ring did it, the same way all these devs be like, because God of War did it. Like, that's genre defining. When God of War 2018 came out, now you see freaking Dragon Age. Dreadwolf is saying, well, we're trying to make the combat like God of War. Like, what? This is Dragon Age. Why? Like, that's genre defining. Like, they don't have, like, the last one that was truly genre defining, but still wasn't actually their game, Gears of War, with the cover-based shooting. That's it.
But I just,
in my
personal
is not
opinion,
genre defining. Stop. Sea of Thieves.
Who said that? Who said Sea of Thieves is genre defining?
My God.
Who said that?
Who
said
how much hours you locked in Sea of Thieves?
Who said Age of Empires was genre defining? What? I mean, like,
I love me some Age of Empires.
Look, I love Age of Empires, but I'm not gonna say. Look, Flight Simulator, not a video game. Yeah. Look, if you like Sea of Thieves, God bless you. Like that.
Millions of people like the Sea of Thieves of today. You didn't have all that content at launch.
Yeah.
Hey, look, more power to it. I'm happy people are enjoying it. But ain't nothing genre defining about Sea of Thieves. Maybe the water. So, like the water is like, realistic and epic looking, but come on now.
I don't think Forspoken is genre defining. I think it's a great game though, in my opinion. I can say that because I played it. I platinumed it. Hundreds of hours in it.
And look, I mean, if you think Age of Empires is genre defining, Sea of Thieves, hey, have at it. I don't agree with that take.
What does Age of Empires do differently than any of the other games in that genre? And what did it do specifically that was so defining in that genre that everyone else is doing exactly that? I asked honestly.
It was one of Microsoft's like biggest like games early on.
Yeah, I'm asking honestly.
CFC's had a rocky start. I think it was like 2018 or 19 is when it really
2018. It came out 2018, 2019. Oh yeah, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. I see what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, like that's when they had like a good jump, and that was mainly because PC community. The same PC community that Xbox gamers that actually do play this game, they don't want to play with. So it's not the Xbox people playing this game; it's PC people playing this game that's enjoying it. With your 3 missions, yes, and I did play Sea of Thieves on PC. Let's let y'all know. And yeah, it wasn't that much offering, in that first year. Probably now it's different because all of the expansions and things like that. But that first year was rough.
Shadow Neil says Fable. Now look, I love me some Fable. Fable 1 and 2. I love those games.
I don't think Fable was genre defying. Fable didn't leave it. Look, Fable did Project Ego, aka Fable, did not live up to a lot of the promises
True.
that Peter Molyneux.
Man, Peter used to be
Peter,
out
remember
here
that
making
shit?
you think it was going to
Oh,
be the most epic
yes.
thing ever, yo. It'd be like,
You
what?
plant a-
It's going to do that?
You plant a seed, you come back 2 months later, and it's a tree. It's got apples growing on it. You like, I mean, like,
they need Peter today, man. Peter could sell a game.
Oh,
I
Peter.
mean, that man could sell a game, but like the actual delivery of what he was selling, it never turned out that way. Plus, like we talking about genre defining, like, so what other games were copying the format of Fable? I wouldn't really, didn't see any other games kicking chickens and and using, like, say, the combat design or anything like that. I mean, great game. I fully like, especially Fable 2. Fable 2, I love that game so much. But like, just because it's a good game doesn't mean it's genre defining. Like, that's not what we're talking about.
No, I'm talking, and somebody's like in the live chat saying, do you want Microsoft to be like Sony? No, I want Microsoft, and again, I'm going back to Microsoft. I'm thinking back to and I've talked about this a lot on this podcast, and I promise, Jay, but I do want to get to PlayStation VR 2 because I know you're a limited time here, but you got to remember, like Slobo, and I'm not just talking about first party. I'm talking about first party. I'm talking about partnerships with third party developers. I mean, you got to remember, like, one of the best franchises in gaming ever, I think Slomo would agree with me, Mass Effect. The first Mass Effect was exclusive on the Xbox 360. You talk about genre defying, them partnering with Bethesda on Elder Scrolls, Morrowind on their first Xbox. Huge. Nothing like that had ever been done on a console.
Yeah, very true.
And think about the marketing at the time behind the original Xbox, most powerful console. It had a built-in hard drive, and there's a reason why they went with the built-in hard drive, because it would allow game developers to do things that other platforms couldn't do. And Microsoft, they didn't just talk about it. And this is what we talk about, deliverables. They delivered content that took advantage, or that showed you, that backed up a lot of the marketing that they put out there about that platform back in the days. So when they said the Eternal HD, no one else has this in the industry. It's going to allow developers to create games that can't be done on other platforms. They delivered on that. Morrowind as an example. Morrowind could have been done on any platform at the time. It just couldn't be done. Yes, I understand. I know PS2 had a hard drive slot, but it wasn't. Look, it's not even the same thing, dude. But that's kind of my point. Like, they don't need to make games like Sony does, like the same style of games. But there was a time where they were making games that really moved the needle. Halo being one of them, Gears, and there's some others. I mean, you think Splinter Cell was born on the Xbox. They had Ninja Gaiden. Before there were Souls, there was Gaiden. Gaiden was hard, not easy. And there's other ones that I'm not going to go through, but I think that's just my point. I think that's probably your point too. Slomo.
All of those are like partnerships too. Like it goes to my point. Like, they partnered with other third party developers that created second party content that you could only find on their platform, but it wasn't their game. Like, they can't just, hey, we own the IP. Let's get Ninja Theory to make another Ninja Gaiden. Can't do it.
Yeah. Well, look,
so it's just
yeah. I do want to move on to PSVR 2, because that's one of the reasons why I want to have Bari on. Because Bari, you have PSVR 2. Like I said, I heard Persona talk about it on Crossfire this past Friday, a Muchu show, and I got to say, like, I almost bought the damn thing on Friday. I was literally that close, Bari. And I saw you, the kayak game. Wait, were you on that show? Wait, Bari, were you on Crossfire 2? I don't remember now, man. See, I'm old.
Yeah, I was on Crossfire, but I had to leave early. I was part of my man Upchuck.
Okay, that's podcast. Right. So okay. So now I remember you talked about, like, dipping your head in the water in the kayaking, mm-hmm. But you talked about Call the Mountain. Bari, so you're like a week into PSVR 2 now, after having it for about a week or so. Like, what are your thoughts, man?
Oh yeah, I love PlayStation VR 2, and You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm coming from like VR1, PlayStation VR1. That was my first introduction to VR. I've used the Oculus ones. I've used the Meta Quest 2. I actually bought two for my like nieces and nephews. Like when they come over here, they actually, plug into my PC and use it. But PlayStation VR 2 is amazing, man. It's a big difference, with the small little minute things that they have added into the headset, like the haptic feedback and the headband. Just the triggers itself is a big difference in VR2 as well, where you feeling the tension on the triggers as well, like the DualSense, and it's kind of more immersive in VR because you're doing actual trigger movements with your finger. You know what I mean? Like, in a controller, yeah, you're pressing a button, but you're either third person or first person. You're not really seeing it. You're not seeing your body or yourself hitting the trigger like that. So it does feel a little bit more immersive, and it feel like it's more built for VR with that whole adaptive triggers and all that stuff. But yeah, man, just the hardware itself, very, very clear image that you get, very vivid, very bright. HDR is a huge thing. They have improved their lenses because they're still using the same Fresnel lenses that first VR would have like a lot of that ghosting, artifacting effect. Some games you have that there. I don't think you can ever get rid of that with Fresnel lenses, but it's not as prevalent as it was in VR1. And just setting the thing up at first, super, super easy. Like anybody that's coming from VR1, PlayStation VR1, get a PlayStation VR2 easily. You're gonna be like, yo, thank you God that I just gonna plug in one little cord and I'm good to go. Right from the first boot to the first little tutorial, PlayStation, you can get into playing a game in about, depending on how long you want to go tutorial, 5-10 minutes, and you're right into a game. They made the setup process and how to hook this thing up very, very easy, unlike the convoluted way that PSVR 1 had. But yeah, like playing a game like Horizon Call of the Mountain, seeing how Horizon Call of the Mountain look better than a lot of these games that's out now. That's a VR game. And see how beautiful that is, and seeing how the scale of all the machines and stuff and everything working together with the vibrations. You just fully immersed in the game. It's definitely a different experience and a different way how to play the game. The eye tracking is godlike. You know what I mean? Like you're aiming and you're shooting things like that's what you're seeing. So with Horizon, like you're aiming at like a bullet, like a bullseye point or whatnot that's surrounding around the world. But you feel the difference as you're using your eyes to aim. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're using your hands and everything to guide yourself, but your eyes is really like it's like the lock-in. You know what I mean? And then it flows so well with it. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been playing. I have 13 games for VR 2, but I only played about like 6 of them so far because I haven't got to everything yet due to Octopath, man. But now overall, I love it. I think it's worth it 100%. The price that you are paying and the hardware that you're getting, it is completely 100% worth it. I know there's people that's gonna be hesitant because they see that 550, that 600 price, but I promise you, when you boot up Horizon Forbidden Call of the Mountain, when you boot up Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil 8, it is definitely a new and different experience of how you play these games, and the quality, the visual quality is not dipping due to the fact that it's being powered by the PS5. A lot of people bash and say, "Oh, why is it not wireless? Why don't have a wireless headset?" No, because PlayStation is not trying to have two different experiences with a game. They want to have a seamless experience. Like I said earlier, before I spoke about VR, Meta Quest 2, when my niece and nephew come over there, they are not using that shit wirelessly. You know what I mean? They're fighting over, oh, can I use your computer? Because they know the better quality experience is when you plug it up tethered to our actual hardware that can power the headset. You know what I mean? And I don't think PlayStation wanted that, where you have a game like the Call of the Mountain, and then if you're playing it wirelessly, you have a different experience or a different visual experience. And when you plug it in, they just want it simple, clean, boom. and it works. The cord is long. You don't really feel it too much out of the way. Like if you're playing like an active game like Call of the Mountain, you probably will feel it. But as long as you just put it to your back, you're gonna be good to go. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big issue because it's super, super long cord. But yeah, I've been loving it. I think the headset is great and it's completely 100% worth it. And the DualSense, not the DualSense, the Sense controls are great too, man. Big upgrade from the Move controllers. I've my play times with it, I've getting about like 6-7 hours from it. My first day that I used the Sense controllers and VR, I played like 6 hours straight. And you know, when I got to like Moss, then it was like, you know, the batteries are low. And obviously I could still play, but I was like, you know what, let me pause for a second, let me charge it. But yeah, the only big flaws I can say that with the PlayStation VR 2 is one is with a Sense controller. I feel like the PlayStation button, it should be raised a little bit, in my opinion. It's a little too flush. You know what I mean? Like you can still feel it out, but you got to really, really feel it out. Maybe I'm not that used to it yet. And the fact that it doesn't have like a mute button on the headset at all. You can change the function button with the pass through, which a pass through is great too. Like we did What's Up PlayStation podcast with the pass through on. You know what I mean? And we was running the whole podcast with that. You know, like it's a very, very clear image. Like certain text messages and stuff like that, you're not going to really see. But overall, it's a very clear message image that you're seeing. But yeah, so no mute button. But you can change it where you can press the function button to make it your mute button. But I wish it had like a specific mute button on there. And that's pretty much it. Like that's really the two flaws that I have with it. Oh, other than I feel like PlayStation should definitely had more first party games ready to go day one. Like Astrobot should have been there for the VR day one.
Astrobot would have been nice.
Yeah, Astrobot Rescue Mission, Blood and Truth should have been there day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like those games should have been there day one for sure, or within the launch window. I don't know if they're going to be launching in the window, but they didn't announce that. But I feel like that was a letdown a little bit. Overall, Horizon, Gran Turismo is definitely going to be those must games that you have to play for it, and it's completely 100% worth it. You see the tweets, you see the videos, they're all over.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of GT7 and like people just really raving about. I think GT7 is probably the one that I've seen a lot of people talk about. And then Call 'em Out would be the other, but I've seen a lot of people really talk about the immersion and the immersion of GT7 with the PSVR 2 headset. I saw Jessica Fly from Last Stand Media, Sacred Symbols, was like he had the whole steering wheel and pedals and had the VR 2 headset on. He was just raving about it. But real quick, Bari, Ham Solo has a question for you. He's like, he wants to know, can you use PSVR 2 for anything other than games like YouTube or other PlayStation apps?
Well, you can use whatever is on your PlayStation 5, you can use VR in. So I've watched YouTube videos on VR because like I did it the way that I send myself the link and then I can just, you know, access YouTube through the browser. You know what I mean? They don't have like a specific browser app, but you can send yourself like, hey, youtube.com. They go on your PlayStation and you get access to the browser and do whatever you got to do. You can watch movies on there, you know, through the media app and all that stuff, Disney Plus, all that. You can access all that. I've played Hogwarts Legacy. I've played Octopath, all in VR through the theater mode. So
it's not native apps, but you can use the browser to access like services that you may have. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like they don't have like native apps for other than games. Like this is like a gaming headset. You know what I mean?
So it's not like with Oculus Quest 2 where you have like the Netflix app and then like it has like the
no.
Like you could watch a movie like in almost like a theater like environment, you know, or like
because Meta wants it to be a metaverse
universe.
So they got games and then they got like all the other. Like I remember doing this theater room thing where you could just sit in the theater, like it's like a VR theater, and you could connect your Netflix account to it and watch your Netflix with other people, like sharing it, kind of like a party where you all watch it. I don't know, like the next season of You or something, and you just they're all watching your account, like it's like at your house, but it's in VR and everyone's all over the place. So there's like cool apps like that. I think that app is actually free too, but it's like their focus on VR is different than Sony's focus. Sony's focus is strictly just games. And Meta's focus is trying to create like they want people to just almost like Ready Player One, where they just want people to just like log in, lock in, and just be there.
Yeah. On Quest, you're doing like work stuff like through AR and all that stuff. You're not really doing that on PlayStation VR 2. I think the focus for what they're doing is video games. Maybe one day they'll get there because, you do have things that, PlayStation had before, like home, that would be cool to bring it there. And have that within the PlayStation ecosystem. But yeah, right now it's just focusing on games. But you can view all those stuff through the theater mode, and you can change the size of the theater mode. So if you wanted like an IMAX type view, you can make it really, really large and watch it there. And all the stuff is there. It's a 1080p image when you do theater mode, but you still have the all the goodness of OLED, the HDR and all that stuff. Like I said, playing Hogwarts, playing Forspoken, Octopath, it still look great on the theater screen.
Yeah, I'm at some point I'm gonna pull the trigger on this thing, man. I just, like I said, listening to you and
I'm surprised you haven't already. Like Barry, Enrique is King FOMO. You want to talk about like he is King FOMO. Literally anything that comes out, he gotta have it. Anything, like he sees it, he's like, oh, that looks good. I'm not buying it, and we all be in the DM like he buying it. Like it's just like we know eventually he's going to get it. So like I don't even know. I'm surprised he hasn't.
That's an exaggeration of the truth, sir.
Hey, look, you say that because this is only just me here right now. Let B Money come in here.
Let me just clarify something here. Capono 5150 says slow-mo. BRAP didn't buy the 4070 Ti. See,
that's because we convinced you not to. It was like you don't need this right now.
Remember the DualSense Edge? I didn't get that when he first came out. I did pick it up this past weekend though.
There we go.
But wait, it just happened to hit retail shelves. I saw it there, and I'm playing COD on PS5.
You couldn't help yourself.
Well, I mean,
you couldn't help yourself.
Well, no, it's okay. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, just be honest. That's all we asking.
Well, I mean, part of it was you could ask Game Logic when we're on COD. Like, I was used to playing COD on PC, which is the definitive version of COD. I might add slow-mo.
Of course.
And
right, Barry?
Yeah, the definitive cheating version.
Barry, you know what the what's that game that just came out on PC? You know what Barry? What's the definitive version of Returnal?
Oh, the PC version, sure.
Oh, okay. So I started playing COD.
I hope they buy it though.
Yeah, I don't think people.
I don't think people. Definitive version all you want as long as you buy it.
Yeah, but I got the PS5. So I started playing COD on the PS5, and I was so used to using the Elite Series 2 controller from Microsoft, the Xbox One.
Dog shit.
And I was using the
Stop.
I know, Barry, come on, man. That's a solid controller, man.
That's a very good controller. Durability is a little.
Durability might be a little questionable, but it's a good controller. It's a solid.
It's yourself a warranty.
Oh, I got the warranty. Yeah, I got the. Yeah,
there's no way you can say it's a great controller, good controller, and follow up with durability issues. You're not being honest with people. It's dog shit controller.
It's good when it works, Barry. It's solid when it works. It's like,
that's not that doesn't that's not confidence that you say.
All controllers eventually die. Just some die a little sooner.
A lot sooner, yeah.
Maybe a lot sooner.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan Lennis, I don't have 14 kids, man. Look, so
no, that's a bit much. He got 11, man. Come on.
Ryan. Oh, see, there you go. Look, so I was playing COD on PS5, and I didn't like the DualSense controllers, for because it doesn't, you can't adjust the trigger, right? The trigger sensitivity,
Mm-hmm.
So I got the DualSense Edge, and so I played one game with the DualSense Edge. I gotta take it through some more runs to kind of get a better idea, like the feeling of it, everything. But no, that's why I got it. It's a nice looking controller, though. It really is. Like
I think a lot of people need a DualSense Edge or a Pro controller. It might elevate y'all gameplay that y'all posting.
I wouldn't recommend it for anyone that's not
saw it
playing
coming.
like shooters
saw
or
it
racing
coming.
games. Bro.
Absolutely slow. I'm out here. I'm swinging. I
Barry,
know
come
they're
on.
gonna get tricked in the chat.
Barry's look. All right. So that, but I don't have FOMO the way Slomo thinks that I have FOMO. That's my point. But
You do.
Sound like you got
but
FOMO though, to be honest with you. But
look,
go ahead.
I did spend like $6,000 in like a month on gaming. So that's another story.
Wait, what?
I spent like six. You know that? Remember when I got gaming related purchases? I got a new PC. I got the OLED. I got a digital PS5. And there was some other stuff I got, and I spent, and that was all gaming related expenses.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, Barry? King FOMO right here. This man just like he sees it, he buys it.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay.
I did buy a second. You know, for a while, man. I think Gaming Forte was taking advantage of me, man. Because Slimmer, he would call me up and be like, "Hey, man, I got the Series X in. Somebody traded in."
Why you got him sounding like a drug dealer?
Because that's what it was like. He's like, "Hey, man, I got the Series. Someone traded in. I could ship it to you overnight." Like, and I'm like, "What?"
Well, we know he ain't shipping nothing overnight.
No, he never did. I'd be like, "Forte, where's my?" It took Forte 3 weeks. 3 weeks to ship my Series X.
You know he got a UPS right there at his GameStop shopping center too.
The damn UPS man come to the GameStop.
What you use your Series X for?
Nothing. I mean, I'm not. I mean, really, I don't use it for anything, really. I mean,
really and truly, it's hard to see people like you're a very PC, centric person that's buying a.
Thank you,
Xbox.
Barry. Thank you, because people say that I'm a pony. I'm this. I'm that. Say it again. I'm a PC. What?
Centric gamer.
Yeah. So I don't really need a Series X because I play the definitive version of Xbox games on my PC
And PlayStation games.
and PlayStation games too.
And Nintendo games.
And you can play the definitive version of Nintendo games on PC. We're not advocating piracy though.
No, of course not. Of course not. But
So,
you can't.
But yeah, Barry, I don't use it, man. My kids use it. And like I was joking. I was talking to who was this? I was talking to Game Lot the other day, and I was playing. I was like, my kid came in and's like, "Oh, I want to play Peppa Pig." I'm like, "Well, at least I spent $500 so my kids can play Peppa Pig."
You should have got a Series S for that, man.
I know, right?
Oh, see, the good thing now, if you're gonna get VR, anybody can take your TV and still play a game. Good.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna get this thing at some point. Just not yet. There's some other purchases I want to make. So, what about you, Slimo? Any interest in PSVR 2, or are you still kind of like it's not your thing?
I have no interest in VR. Period, man.
Fair enough.
I am. Yeah,
until it come to PC.
I got VR on. Look, I have a Quest 2. It's literally collecting dust, but wiping dust off it right now. It's sitting here.
Boo-boo.
I have zero desire with VR. Like,
real talk though, fun story. We was playing a game called After the Fall. It's a game that has crossplay. Like PC VR and all that stuff. And we met somebody on there.
After the Fall.
Yeah, it's like a zombie. It's like a zombie co-op type game. And we met somebody in there that we matchmake with, and he said he just got his PlayStation 5 and VR that same day. Mm-hmm. And we was like, damn, this guy know what he was doing. He know where he's going, everything. I was like, yo, you played this game before? He's like, yeah, I play this game all the time on Quest 2. So me and Persona, we had to ask, like, yo, so which one looked better? Like, how you feeling the game? Like, is it better on Quest? Is it better on PlayStation? He said, yo, PlayStation look way better on PlayStation. It's absolutely the best version of the game on PlayStation. That's what he said. MetaQuest guy, MetaQuest 2 guy.
MetaQuest 2 guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. With considering MetaQuest, he's probably not connected to PC. He's probably playing it. But
the thing is, it's just better hardware on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that too. I was gonna say that too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the hardware. Yep. So yeah, I'll probably get it. And Ryan Landis says BRAP's living room looks like walking into a Best Buy. The latest tech and kids running around everywhere. Come on, you guys.
Hey, bro, have you got that room at Best Buy where it's just like it's beside the electronic. Well, it's all electronics, but it's beside the TVs, and it's just like huge TVs, like the $6,000
Oh,
TV.
you're talking about
And
the what's the name of it?
I forgot the name of the room.
Magnolia.
Yeah.
Best Buy Magnolia.
So did you just go in there and be like, hey, look, I want my room to look like this,
bro?
Like, I just want everything here.
I've gotten TVs from Magnolia before, but yeah, I mean, I actually had talked to them about wiring installing surround sound into my basement, but then I was like, I'm not gonna spend the money to do it because I can just do it myself because I have pop-up tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Do that yourself.
Well, remember the networking thing. Remember that you told me forever, BRAP, run the Cat 5.
This man was playing games Wi-Fi for forever.
Oh man,
and I'm just
no.
like,
Enrique,
stop it. Get hardwired,
no.
please.
Hey,
Please.
somebody
Man.
$2 super chat. Ola Raji with the $2 super chat. There's a code here for Call the Mountain.
Somebody grab that.
Somebody grab that code. Thank you, Raji.
Yeah, Melday. Oh yeah, that's cool people. That's my guys right there.
Oh, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Some of the live chat, grab that thing. Grab it. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably end up getting it. But hey, Bar, how much time do you have? Because I do want to dive into Final Fantasy 16 real quick.
Yeah, I got a few more minutes. I'm gonna leave out like around 10:30. I'm already dressed, so I'm ready to go once. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where you going on a Thursday night? I sound like a
Oh
dad.
nah, I just gotta go to I gotta go to airport.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
Yeah. All right, so we got some news.
Unfortunately, my family, I'm like a chauffeur, yo. They come in, like, yo, can you pick me up? I'm the first person they hit up. You know what I mean? They're not gonna give me no gas. They're not gonna give me
no gas.
No gas.
Oh, come on, man. That's just not right. That's
This-
taking
this-
advantage of
this is-
family.
This is mom's though. This is mom. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, Raji, seriously, thank you so much. That really means a lot. Thank you. We certainly appreciate that. Somebody in the live chat, get the code. If you did, please let us know. Yeah, no, there was some. Yesterday, we have some more information on Final Fantasy 16
It
and
is Wednesday.
what's that?
I said Thursday. I'm so tired. I did say Thursday. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was Thursday, you'd be on with Forte.
Right.
Oh man, you got to get some sleep there, Slow-mo.
I do. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
yeah, we got some more information into, Final Fantasy 16, which releases June 22nd of this year, and I gotta say, look, I enjoyed Final Fantasy 15. I'm not gonna say
my bad, Brat, man.
Yeah.
Because I had to speak from the heart real quick, man.
Go ahead, man.
I'm just seeing dumbass tweets before we get into Final Fantasy.
All right.
For some strange reason, this game has caused so much hate, you know what I mean, within the gaming community that most of the people that hate this game don't even play it. Forspoken, right? From Luminous Productions. Luminous Productions came out and they announced saying that they are finally a part of the Square Enix family. And Square Enix is definitely a company that's dear to my heart. So I follow this company very, very closely. I watch all their, or listen to and look at all their earning reports and all their presentations and all that stuff. Square Enix have been having their studios, help with making HD remasters, remakes, and all that stuff within the company. And this is one of their midterm strategies is to pump out more of those, AAA, HD remakes and remasters and whatnot. So a part of that strategy is now having Luminous Productions fully be a part of Square Enix, and a part of the family, where they're saying that they're going to be using their expertise to help with that midterm strategy, a medium term strategy. Which terminology like that, none of these motherfuckers know business, so they don't know what that means. So I put it in layman's term. It could be like a 3 to 5 year plan or strategy what they're doing. It's medium term, it's midterm. You know what I mean? Strategy. So I'm looking at Twitter. I'm like, how are people turning this shit into bad news? That a studio that was like I think they was already a part of Square, but it was kind of really like independent. That made only 2 games, and now they're fully merged into into Square Enix now. Because Square Enix, Square Enix really have a whole bunch of developers, but it's not like a whole bunch of studio names outside of like Tokyo RPG Factory and things like that. You're just a part of Square Enix.
Yeah,
But all of a
they're
sudden,
called creative business units.
Yeah.
And Luminous was creative business unit 2 when they did Final Fantasy 15, and then they became Luminous, but they were still a subsidiary under Square Enix. Even as that, so like Square Enix still owned them. It's just like more like what you would see from Bethesda compared to Arcane. So like Arcane is still owned by ZeniMax Media, but they weren't under Bethesda, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
They aren't under Bethesda.
I guess. But the thing is like people are trying to spin it into a bad news because they hate Forspoken for whatever reason. They look at reviews and whatnot. Now they're claiming that this game is a flop, even though on a sale perspective, it wasn't close to anything of a flop. It charted on every single metric in North America, in Europe, in Japan. Even on a critical reception, only the Western websites really rated this game bad. If you look at Japan or more Eastern websites, Famitsu have this thing rated, I think it's like a 35 or 36 out of 40. That's really high.
Wait. Famitsu had Forspoken rated at what?
Yeah, it's really high. It's like a 35 or 36 out of 40 in Famitsu's rating.
Look, does Famitsu still do the panel reviews where it's like 4 people reviewing?
No, like it's a accumulation of reviews that they gather up.
Yeah, but it's like 4 different people or something doing the reviews for Famitsu that work for Famitsu, right? There's like 4 people or something that do the reviews. But anyhow, Famitsu is like, you get like a 40 or high 30s. That's actually a good review because they're no joke.
The thing is, what I'm saying is that if this game was such a flop or anything that people are trying to say, Square would have merged them. We already seen examples of, they had Crystal Dynamics. They had other, what's the dudes that make
Eidos Montreal.
Eidos Montreal and all that stuff, where those games to them were not good. They were flops. And then what they did, they sold off that company because they don't want to see that in the red. They wanted to focus on the Japanese centric stuff. You know what I mean? So we already seen them doing things like that. So I'm just saying, like, yo, how is and the funny part about it, I'm reading the statement and they're saying, yeah, we are now part of Square Enix family, right? This and normally if there's like, oh, the studio got dissolved, this no longer exists, right? Does this sound like a studio that no longer exists? In the game that they just currently made, right? Saying that between now and then, we remain entirely focused on Forspoken. We're currently working on previously announced patch to address overall game performance. We'll deliver that update very soon. The DLC Tanta We Trust is on track to release this summer. Thank you again for your patience and support. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when Forspoken come out with this DLC and whatnot, when do you think the next Luminous production game is going to come out if they're working on their own game, right? When do you think that's going to happen? It's not going to happen until like 5, almost 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, even if it wasn't something that merged with Square Enix. So I'm looking at it like, how is this a bad thing? And people's not even looking at reading the whole thing, because even though they are merging with Square Enix to work on certain things, they said, we appreciate you taking this journey with us as we look forward to continuing to create new entertainment and experiences as a part of the Square Enix family. Now mergers is bad in gaming. You know what I mean? People getting bought up in gaming is bad. I don't understand what's going on out here, man. Like, yo, your hate for one specific game. Yeah, Famitsu, my bad. Your hate for one specific game has caused this community to say the most idiotic, most outlandish, dumbest shit I've ever seen in gaming, bro. And you have people really believing the shit that they're saying, even though they have the shit right in front of them. My bad, bro. You go ahead.
I mean, Barry, what you're describing is a phenomenon that I am very familiar with. People lack comprehension, so reading comprehension, and often will change meanings of words to fit their own narrative. So,
the thing is, people don't even like Forspoken for whatever reason,
I don't. Yeah.
right? So whatever they're doing next for Square Enix, how is that a bad thing in your eyes?
I don't know. Yeah. Look, I mean, they're yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, Barry, I do want to go back to Final Fantasy 16 real quick.
Yes, sir.
Because look, I like 15, but I definitely
Luminous Productions.
I had some issues with Noctis in group. I thought they were kind of cheesy.
Story sucked.
Yeah, the story was
just give
okay.
us
The
that.
story was okay. I don't think
the story was weak.
I thought it was okay.
Enrique, anytime you have to go outside the game to help you understand the story, that's a problem.
I
Like,
don't
when they're
disagree.
like, when you got, hey, watch this like hour-long anime. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember the yeah.
Like I've always kind of
that
felt
shit
that
was
way.
the movie was Kingsglaive was the best part of that story. That story was convoluted. You can definitely
was
tell they had
convoluted.
like writing.
But I didn't
Yeah.
mind
They
it.
had writing conflicts for sure, and they was like, you know what, we need to put out a product. Here's what you gotta do.
Do you know the story behind the scenes? It was like, I mean, they had some issues.
They did have some issues.
development-wise.
There's some
They had
development
to
issues
switch
they gave them.
directors. They had to switch directors at one point because it was just like development was taking too long,
Yeah.
and things were just so like all over the place. But it's. I mean, they got it out eventually. I thought the combat was decent,
Combat was
and
decent,
I
it's
see
fine.
why.
I like the combat. I
focus-
like the combat.
Yeah, and I see why that they kind of carried on some of those elements into Forspoken, but it's just for Final Fantasy, man. Nah, man, you can't have Final Fantasy looking like that. Now where story wise, you're just like, yo, what the hell is going on? But my
Yeah.
bad. I know we on the tangent. Go ahead, man.
But I will say I like Clive Rossfield for what I've seen of Clive Rossfield.
Clive looked like he's gonna be a badass.
Yeah, and
He's
I'm
gonna
digging
be
that. I'm digging that
a
more
very
than
powerful character.
I'm digging that more
Right.
than Noctis and the boy band that he was with. I used to
Like, the
call
thing
them-
is, Noctis is like one of the most powerful Final Fantasy characters outside of Lightning, but
yeah,
I just don't think he was written well. Like, he was kind of boring in my opinion.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
There's
with you.
no real growth.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. But again, I liked it. I thought it was an okay game. But no, Clive is I like kind of what I'm seeing with him. But look, the big thing is, they're going away from the turn-based combat to real-time combat, and I have seen some people, some diehard Final Fantasy fans, that are very upset about this. And look, I get it. I mean, like that's kind of been a staple of the franchise, and they're kind of they're going a different route per se, and well, I should say per se, they're going a different route and have brought in
They already went this route. I mean, like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 wasn't turn based.
well, it was kind of
Like-
like a what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
Nah, it was action.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was like kind of a combination of like turn-based and action, right?
Oh, that's 7 Remake. 7 Remake is a hybrid between the two. But
7 remakes
15 was-
combat's fire.
Yeah,
Love
7.
Yeah,
Okay,
that-
I thought. Okay, then I'm getting confused.
Those same people talking about they want this game to be turn based. They think 7 Remake combat is whack. And if you think 7 Remake combat is whack, there's something that's internally wrong with you.
It's nostalgia. It's nostalgia taking over for people where they don't want to see anything change. Like, these are the same people who also, when it came to 7 Remake, was like, it's not a full game. But like,
Yeah.
you didn't play the game, so you don't really know that it's not really a remake.
Mhm.
Because if you play the game and you see what's going on in the story, then you understand what's happening. You realize this ain't a remake of the same game. This is actually kind of like a sequel.
retelling.
But it's a retelling with like a complete diverging of the storyline up to a point, and Rebirth is going to be. I'm not going to say completely different. We're going to see a lot of the same places, but not much of the same things that happened as in the original Final Fantasy VII up to that point, or is going to continue on
Yeah,
because
they
it's
set
so
that up.
different. Yeah, so it's just like, but they don't know that because they didn't play it.
Yo,
But-
trust me, I had a lot of debates with people. That game right there really got me to stop doing debates with people because a lot of people don't play these games. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yo, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time. I'm a nut for Final Fantasy VII. If people don't know,
yeah,
and
seven's, yeah.
you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo,
Genre
what they
defining.
doing with her?
I understand. It's the second best Final Fantasy. I get it. You know, it's pretty good. You know.
No, you
What
know,
you gonna say? Like, are you gonna say like 9 or something?
No, six.
Oh, 6. Well,
Yeah,
I have
I
6
mean,
as my third. As my
best
third.
protagonist.
What's your second then?
Oh, the second greatest Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 4. You know what I mean?
Okay. Four is my actually first RPG ever. Like, but over here it was Final Fantasy 2. So it was like because it was Final Fantasy 4 everywhere.
In Japan it was.
Here it was 2.
Yeah.
But it was like like Cecil, the whole crew. That game is awesome. Like
Cecil Harvey is my second favorite Final Fantasy character of all time. You know what I mean? Like I love the hell out of the game. When that Pixel remaster comes, that's the first one I'm gonna be playing.
Now I got
6 I love too. I love those.
I haven't
6 is
enjoyed
great.
a Final Fantasy since 9.
Wow. Well, so
nah, you don't like 10?
No, I don't like.
You don't like 10? 10 wasn't bad.
I don't like
10.
10
wasn't
man.
bad. 10 wasn't bad.
It's not bad. There was just something about it. I just didn't. It's not bad. 10's not a bad game. I just didn't like it personally. But like from then on, it was just like 13 pisses. Let me get started. I hate 13, but like 15, I think is the worst one out of the entire series.
Oh,
but
wow.
like 9 is the last one I really was just like, I enjoyed it and I played through it multiple times. That kind of like
9. I really love 9. I just hate how cheap enemy AI is in 9. The trans system I didn't really like. The trans system I did not like it because when you're close to getting trans, that's who the enemies are going to attack.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can tell like you're just being cheap. But overall, I think it's a great game. But yeah, I love 10. 12 is one that I enjoy a lot too. I don't enjoy it so much for the story, but the gameplay is just phenomenal. 13 I replayed 13, man. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but yeah, it's not up there as like the greatest, but I do feel like it's one of the best battle systems with the paradigm shifts and all that stuff. I enjoy the hell out of that because it's fast paced, it's very strategic, and how you got to set up your attribute classes and all that stuff to get your paradigms. But 16 though, I'm super excited for it, man. I like the change, man, with the action combat because they going full throttle. It's not like they're implementing action like 15.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, because 15 had 2 modes. That's why I was kind of like confused.
Well, yeah, 15.
It had like an
really
action mode
like
and like kind of like a
yeah, because they implemented
an active
in the
mode
Royal
and
Edition,
like a wait mode or something. In 15.
Well, I know 15. Like the real wait is like when you're switching over to what your party want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I want to set this person up. It's not like a Final Fantasy 7 remake.
No,
like Final Fantasy 7 remake is like you need ATB bar. ATB bar, that's like turn-based shit. You know what I mean? Like 7 remake is more turn-based than action, to be honest with you. Because the action is just for you to build up the ATB so you can actually do the actions and wait out stuff and whatever with your party. But 15, man, I mean 16, I think is going to be a great game. Like I said, they went full throttle with the action. You know, getting Ryota Suzuki, Devil May Cry director.
Yep.
It's not like 15 is like, okay, you went action, but you're not really going full throttle with it. They was talking about high level gameplay, combo mechanics, the switching that we saw with the gameplay that is very reminiscent of Devil May Cry. You see the whole icon battles, you know, or the first transformation looking like a Devil Trigger kind of thing with the icon battles. Like it's looking amazing. So I don't think people are going to. Yeah, I don't think people are going to be like, oh, this is action, but it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, I think the action is going to be super good. It does, you know, those tried and true RPG fanatics is going to be like, oh, it's not turn-based. It's no different than the gaming community now when they see games as a service. They quickly write it off because it's games as a service. You know what I mean? That's how these RPG guys can be. Oh, it's action. I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of it's not confirmation bias. When it comes to live service games, there's so many bad live service games that when they see a game is like comes out, it's going to be live service, they immediately think, well, it's going to be bad because a lot of the live service games that I play are bad. When they see, oh, where they're going action oriented with this game, they immediately think, well, they're not like who were they to do this kind of game? It's not going to be good because of like, well, they didn't do that before. It was there's a lot of the same arguments that we heard about 7 Remake. Like, you can't make this kind of game. Like, this isn't going to turn out well, even though with 7 Remake the combat was very, very good. I think people just gotta give things a shot. Like for me, I was all in on 7 Remakes change, and I'm down for 16. 16 is probably the first Final Fantasy I've really been hyped for in a very long time, which has got me very like eagerly anticipating playing it. But it's just I think people they take their experiences with other games and I didn't like that, so I'm not gonna like this. But it's just like you're not really giving the developer the opportunity to prove that they can do it, because whenever a game decides to do something different than what is the norm for that IP, everyone always gets apprehensive about it. But what it really comes down to is if they do it well, then it doesn't matter. Like if it's like when 343 did things differently with Halo. If they nailed it, nobody would give a damn. Oh, they changed Halo, but it's good. If it was like if the multiplayer in Halo 4 was fire, nobody would have been like, oh man, that ain't Halo. But shut up. This is fire. But it wasn't fire, so therefore people complained about the change. And it just kind of emboldened the diehard community of Halo that didn't want sprint, didn't want this, don't want any kind of aim down sight whatsoever. And it's just like, at some point, you got to ignore the hardcores. You just when the ones that hold back your IP and hold back innovation in the IP over time, because times change, people's they taste in games evolve as well as there's new gamers who don't care about like the way old games used to be designed. You have to change with those changes. And if you're sitting around just listening to the hardcores that are going to be there anyway, they can complain all they want. They're going to be day one buying the game and your collector's edition. They're going to be buying the big huge sword to put in their room that's about the size of them. They're spending all their money on it anyway. They're just complaining to complain. They're still going to play your game. What you need to be concerned with are the other gamers that might want to play your game. You can't just cater to a very small niche community that's loud. So like that what they're doing is good, I think, and hopefully it turns out well.
They said that from the rip too, because like they're trying to get a new audience. They're trying to get this Western audience to play these games more. So yeah, they're going to be certain things that they're going to switch up just to get more appeal. Doesn't mean that they're taking away the Final Fantasy essence or anything from it. You know what I mean? Because every Final Fantasy game in its entirety is not the same.
Yeah.
Each always introduces
different story,
new skill. Yeah, different story, new skill, new mechanics, a different way how to use magic, or a different system or whatnot. So
yeah, everyone hated 8. That's a perfect argument. Everyone hated 8, right? The way they what was it? They took away MP in 8, right? No, what did they take away? I forgot.
It was that card stuff with 8. I remember like what it was with 8. I think it was like the cards. It wasn't like
they did with Magic, where people was like, I can't remember. You're right. It was something with card. It's been a long time since I played 8. Because like apparently they had lost the code, and it was like hard to remake it or remaster it. So I haven't played it in a long time, but I remember there being a change with Magic that people hated. And then I personally remember the Gunblade. That I hated that Gunblade, where you had to like hit the button at a certain point when you attacked in order to get like a critical hit or something. I was just like, bro, what are we doing here? But like I think Final Fantasy 8 had changes that didn't quite work. They weren't executed that well, and then therefore like people complain, and it's like that's what happens. But if it was great, nobody would have said anything. Everyone just would have enjoyed it and loved it. And there's always change, like you said, there's always changes in the combat in Final Fantasy. It's never just straight up the same exact combat every single time. So
Oh yeah, that draw system. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of 8. I'm not a big fan of 8. I remember playing it. I didn't like it. That's the only Final Fantasy I never went back to. Playing again.
I like the story. I just didn't like much else about it. Yeah.
And in my opinion, it went like too realistic. Like this is gonna sound contradiction. It's gonna sound contradiction, but it went too realistic with the looks, but it didn't look good. You know what I mean? Like the background and everything didn't match up with like how the character models were. I remember like hating it as a kid. I was like, what the hell are they doing, man? You know, I was definitely pissed off with 8. But yeah, I'm excited for 16, man. All the drama that's surrounding it, I'm cool. I'm down for it as long as it means people gonna buy the game and play it. Okay,
True.
That's like Hogwarts. That game was surrounded with controversy, but look at that, 12 million in 2 weeks. Get that same energy, you know what I mean? With 16, I want to see 12 million, 15 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
100%.
I just kind of wish Yoshi P would stop. Like,
yeah, he don't need to talk no more. He don't need to talk no more.
Stop talking, bro. Like every time I see Yoshi P did another interview, I'm like, God damn.
He like Phil Spencer out here right now, but
he's just like, man, can you stop causing controversy for 5 minutes? Just wait until after the game come out, please. You know.
Mm-hmm. But yo, BRAP, man, I'm about to get up out of here though. But yo, I appreciate the invite. Sorry about not staying the whole time, but I got some things I got to do, man. But for the people in the chat, man, go play Forspoken. It's a great game. I'm pretty sure you end up liking it if you actually will play it. You know what I mean? For some strange reason, people want to ignore gameplay when it comes to that game. All the people that don't care about story and none of that shit, we'll have conversations. They never care about story, gameplay. But for some strange reason, want to ignore Forspoken. Go sit your ass down and play the goddamn game. It's boy J Barry, and I'm gone. Deuce. Sorry, Slim. I apologize.
Hey, it's all good, bro. Peace out, bro. Have a be safe, man. What you traveling to?
Yep. I'm about to dip out real quick. All right, guys.
All right, leader, bro. Oh, I think Enrique stepped away. Enrique, you there, man?
Oh, I was talking the whole time. My mic was muted. Yeah. So no, thank you, Barry. I didn't even hear me say thank you. So because my mic is muted, but no, thank you, Barry. I appreciate the time, man. Slow-mo. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. I'm excited for this Final Fantasy 16. I'm excited that they have I forget his name now, who worked on Devil May Cry 5, incorporating some of that. Because when I saw some of the combat, I'm like, that's very Devil May Cry.
Yeah, you can definitely very much. You can see the style to it. Yeah, which works. I mean, because Devil May Cry has great combat, so it's like,
yeah.
If you're gonna go action, go hardcore in that direction.
Yeah, and you see it when what's his face when Clive's battling, what are they called, the icons, when he's fighting one of them, you see like it's like this big, I don't know, like wing looking beast type thing, and he's like,
I watched Eric's Gaming's video on it, and then because they showed like clips of the combat, but I didn't watch the full video. Like I have a thing where when I'm hyped for a game, I don't like to get too much information. Like there comes a certain point where it's like I kind of just shut down on seeing new information because I don't want to like kind of ruin the freshness of it, the surprise of it when I finally play the game. So it's like I don't want to see too much of the combat. I don't want to see too much of the story. Definitely don't want to see too much of the story or the characters. I just kind of want to look. I'm getting it. I'm there day one. I don't want to like see too much, but what I did see, the portions that I saw probably maybe like a minute and a half of just the combat, not any talking or anything. And yeah, definitely got that Devil May Cry feel. Definitely is right down my alley for what I want to play. So yeah, man, it looks good. It's just needs to come out, man.
Yeah, I think again, I agree with you. I think it looks good. Um,
What are your thoughts on them saying the PC version is not coming out in 6 months? Like, even though the contract is a 6 month exclusive contract, timed exclusive contract, the game's not coming in 6 months on PC because they gotta make sure it's optimized. They said.
I mean, look, I'm not surprised. I mean, developers are going to prioritize platforms, and it sounds like in reading, especially on the PlayStation blog, they talk about taking advantage of the PS5, and Square Enix talked a lot about the partnership with PlayStation and really being able to work with PlayStation engineers. That was the other thing. Like, they worked with the engineers, the PlayStation 5 hardware engineers, to really help them with the development of this game. And so that actually kind of excites me, by the way, because this is going to be a game that you would imagine takes advantage of a lot of the feature sets of the PlayStation 5, and the fact that they've worked with the engineers for this game. It's going to be interesting to see how this game performs. And then they talked a lot about the transitioning from cutscene to in-game and things like. And then obviously the haptic feedback is going to be a big part of that. So I'm not surprised, Slomo, that the PC's kind of.
I just hope
Yeah.
that him saying, well, in order to optimize the game for PC, we couldn't have that out in 6 months. That means it's not going to be like the Final Fantasy VII remake on PC. Because there was no excuse. There was just no excuse for that.
It was poorly optimized. Yeah, I mean,
it was poorly like designed. Like, it was. Don't get me started. It's basically the PS5 version with DX on the DX12 with 0 DX12 features. But then they had, like, under the DX12 build was DX11. But you didn't have the option in game to switch from DX11 to DX12.
Wow.
So the only feature of DX12 they had was shader cache compilation stutter, which is not the feature that you want. Like, they had no DLSS, no kind of like any kind of upscaling techniques that are amazing on PC. There's no ray tracing. There was no advanced like graphical features that come with like are exclusive on DX12. None of that stuff. It's basically the same as the DX11 version, except you had to actually go outside of like the actual game to actually force it to run in DX11. We forced it to run in DX11. I played it back then on 2070 Super, and I had like rock solid 120 frames per second at 1440p max settings, everything else, and it was fine. But it was just stutter before I actually had to tinker with it, which is like, so you got that, you got the terrible Forspoken port, and it's like, yo, Square Enix, I need y'all to step it up now. Like, y'all gotta step up this FF16 port. I might double dip if it's great. If not, I'll just be playing the PS5 version. So
yeah, no, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, no, I mean, let's hope that the PC version is better than the 7's PC version. But I'm hoping, and I would imagine they, again, I'm just speculating here. I'm thinking they probably have some kind of PS5 bundle, special edition. So if there is, then I'm definitely gonna get that for this game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like I said before, it's like my first time really being hyped for a Final Fantasy game in a long time. So can't wait to play it, man. It's a lot of other interesting games coming out around that time too, I think. But I'm not going to be playing anything else but that one when it drops.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. And by the way, Slimo, why must you slander Hideo Kojima?
What? You saw my tweet. Hey, look, man, that wasn't slander. That was.
Let me just read this. Let me read this for the chat. By the way, probably a garbage collection simulator.
Hold on, you got to give him context.
Okay. So Kojima tweeted out that he met with the Microsoft team. Aaron Greenberg's there. They're all hanging out. They're eating food. There's like a buffet type, setup. And
food looked good too.
It did look
like,
good.
Man,
the food looked good. I mean, come on. It's just, they're gonna, pull out.
They was grubbing.
Yeah, they were grubbing for sure. And BG said, I hope he gives you all something better than some trash ass Uber Eats simulator that PlayStation got. I don't agree with BG's commentary either.
I agree completely.
No, I think
about Death Stranding.
I think Death Stranding is a classic. I think it is a great story with some amazing acting. Look, yeah. So you responded to BG with probably a garbage collection simulator where it takes place in Maine, but it looks like New Zealand. That's actually kind of funny. With a woman named Plastic and a dude named Constipated Man. Come on, Slomo.
Hey, was any that far off from Death Stranding?
There's a reason why Die Hard Man's called Die Hard Man.
Hey, was any of that far off? Constipated Man. Look, I got a whole backstory for him and everything. He wears a hockey mask, and it's because to hide the fact that he's so internally constipated, like he wants to hide his constipated face. He wears the mask. You got Plastic, a woman who is her name's Plastic. No one knows why. She's super mysterious for no damn reason. Your weapon of choice is full dirty like baby diapers, because you're a garbage man. So you see a ton of those. You get to throw those. It's like throwing poop bombs in Death Stranding. Same thing, right?
The poop bombs have. Never mind. We're not going to talk about the bombs again. We talked about that on this show. Have you played the game, Slomo?
What, Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Everyone asks me this. Yes, I played it. I hated every moment of it. No, heck no.
You can't
I
comment.
quit, man.
You can't comment on it then.
No. Look, see, that's where people are wrong.
No, you got to play the whole game.
No, that's cap. If you can talk, no one plays a full game and beats a full game that they hate. Nobody does that. You don't like a game, you're not feeling it. That's fine. You just drop it. Like Witcher 2. I like the story of Witcher 2. That combat was so bad.
The combat was pretty bad, man. The hitboxes were terrible.
I quit after 6 hours. I was like, I can't do it, yo. And it's just like, I'm not going to force myself through a horrible experience just to say, well, now I can talk about the game. No, I'm going to talk about how bad it was. It sucked.
You're not lying, Slomo, with the combat on The Witcher. It was pretty bad, man.
I'm just like, I was not feeling The Witcher. I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm not going to complete it. I refuse. And Xbox guys who were all saying the same things I'm saying right now, when that Kojima Xbox game come out, they gonna be out there picking up garbage, slinging it in the garbage truck, jumping on the back, riding to the next house. They're gonna be so happy. They're gonna be enjoying the hell out of that Kojima-ness. And it's just like, yeah, I know this ain't no different than Death Stranding, right? But is it just me? Is it whatever? It's just like we know how it is. People like this PlayStation guys that hate Death Stranding, but they won't admit it. They won't admit it. They'll be like, no, it's great.
Oh my goodness.
It's a masterpiece. Kojima's a genius. Okay. I want to see your trophies, damn it. I want to see. Did you now when you say all that, then I want to see you beat the game. Now that's what
I thought it's a great game. The BTs, the ambiance, the sound when the BTs would come. I mean,
ambiance. Oh my!
It was.
God.
I mean, look,
music
man.
Almost walking and that music almost made me fall asleep, man.
No, you get to those. Dude. I'm telling you, man. You get to those BTs and they grab you. And you're fighting this big lion-looking thing and these whales. Dude, I'm telling you, it is, man. I was at the edge of my seats, man. And Troy Baker's character voice acting in that game is top notch. Tommy, I forget his name, who played Die Hard, man. He's got one of the best, most iconic scenes in gaming that I've experienced.
His name is Die Hard Man.
Look, man, there's a reason why
you lose all rational, realistic, like storytelling capability when your name is Die Hard Man.
No, his name is Die Hard Man because he was supposed to die so many times in combat he just doesn't die. That's why he's called Die Hard Man.
What was his name before he was supposed to die? Craig?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what his name was. Come on, man. See, this is what I'm talking. You haven't played the game.
I was supposed to die so many times. They just called me Die Hard Man.
What
was your name before?
I will say this.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Okay, you know what? You're not going to disrespect this game. This is a masterpiece in storytelling, Slomo.
No, not stop it.
It
was not
is.
mad.
It is. It is.
Come on, man.
Look, there's.
I ain't calling him Die Hard Man no more. His name is Jerome. That's Jerome.
Why's it gotta be Jerome, man?
Because he black. And I'm black, so I can say that.
But his
It ain't
name, but his
racist.
real name is Tommy. Tommy, I forget the voice actor's last name. Tommy.
Well, I'm not the voice actor. I'm talking about
No,
the
but he's
character.
actually no. The voice actor is actually black, but he's a Tommy something. But he's actually in a show. He was in a TV show I watched recently. Oh my God! What? Jesus! No, I can't remember. Who's the voice actor for
I'll
Die
look
Hard,
him
man?
up on I'll look him up on IMDb.
Yeah, I wanna- There's some cheap product placement though in that game. I'll
Oh yeah, Monster, the Monster Energy
come on,
drink.
yeah, that I'm like, come on, Kojima. Plus,
No
there's
shame.
no shame.
You know, it's funny when there's product placement in games, everyone complains. Kojima does it. Nah, single complaint. Y'all be frauding so hard, man. Tommy Earl Jenkins. I don't know why I couldn't.
Yeah,
say
Tommy
his
Earl
last
Jenkins.
name.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I just saw a movie with him or a show with him recently too.
He was on Wednesday. He was the mayor in the Wednesday show that's on Netflix.
That's right. He is the mayor on Wednesday on Netflix, which I actually thought was a good show. That's right. That's yeah. So that's Die Hard.
And he died, so he didn't die hard.
Okay. You know what? I got we got a super chat here. Glacian3 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. It says Slow-mo a hater. Yes, Slow-mo is a hater.
Hey, look, I'm an accurate hater though. Can't say I was lying about anything.
Yeah. Dragonheart Yobi, what's up? What's up, Dragonheart Yobi? Says I thought you were talking about Tommy from Martin. Look.
Tommy from Martin got a better story arc than Die Hard, man.
Stop. You didn't even beat the game, so you didn't even know what the story's like.
No. Okay, that's the only time you can say I said something that I can't back
You
up.
played the game, and let me tell you something.
I stopped at like 4 hours.
When you play this game, I played it before. And then when COVID hit it, I'm like, oh shit! Kojima picked the he had figured out the pandemic. We're all living in solid and sheltered. We're all sheltered. I'm telling you. Now the combat wasn't great. I'll admit to that. The combat wasn't that great. It was serviceable, but it wasn't great. Yeah. So
serviceable is what you say about combat when it's when you really like a game and you just want to just
okay.
like,
You know what?
like Mass Effect 1's combat is absolute garbage. But I love Mass Effect 1, the world, the characters, the story, the villain. And I'm just like, it's serviceable. I mean, I can make it through. I kind of wish, I could get to the end of this next sequence so I could just get back to the story. But just like the combat sucks, man. You say it sucks. It's okay. It's okay, Enrique.
Yeah. Gogo Post says the combat's better on PC with mouse keyboard.
Man, yeah, that I would say that's subjective. Some people hate mouse and keyboard, hate the using it. Yeah. So,
well, like I said, man, I thought it was a great game. I'm actually really excited to see what Kojima puts together for Microsoft. This game's going to be an exclusive for Xbox. So
why is that girl called Fragile?
Because she's fragile. She's
fragile.
She's fragile. Fragile.
Why is this so? I just don't understand. Like,
She's
look,
like,
you
what,
can convey.
Her line was
convey something about her personality without naming her personality. Like, what if you got like I'm about to say something.
She said, I may be fragile, but I'm not fragile.
That's not a line in the game.
Yes, it is. It's really you got to think about what she's saying, man. It's deep.
I don't want to think about what she's saying because that line sucks, man. I'm telling you, plastic in this Xbox game.
She nuked.
You're gonna love plastic.
Fragile nuked the town by accident. She was tricked.
Okay.
See, you can't have this conversation. You got to play the game, Slow-mo.
I played the game.
Slow-mo, what would it take for do you still do the thing where people can?
Yes, I do, and it's $100. So there it is.
All right, it's $100. So if we give you $100,
do the $100 tier, and I will play 5 hours of Death Stranding.
No, you got to for $100. You got to play the whole thing.
No,
you got to beat it, Slow-mo. That is fair.
No, what's fair if I'm being forced to subject myself to a bad experience? 5 hours is enough for $100.
I think that's too much money, man.
Hey, then you must then hey look, the people forced me to play Dead Space Remake, which actually was good.
Dead Space Remake is really good.
I don't want to go back. I mean, I might go back to. I kind of don't want to because I'm like I don't really.
Yo, Ryan Landis said lady allergies. All right.
Bad knee guy.
There was a Heartman in that in Death Stranding. No, I'm being serious. Heartman. Because he had a bad heart and his heart would go out and he'd die and come back to life.
Stop it.
No, I'm being serious. And that was his tie to the other.
This is like writing from like a 13-year-old.
Okay, you know what? Okay.
So bad.
All right. You know what? We're not gonna do any more Kojima slander.
One arm man. He's got one arm. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Okay, I'm sorry.
If Forte was a character in Death Stranding, he'd be Sleep Man.
Exactly. Snore loud man.
Oh my god. Where's Forte, by the way? Have you seen him recently?
He gonna pop up now because we talking about him.
You know he is. Uh huh. What'd it do? Uh huh. Oh man, that's too funny. All right.
I heard that my ears were burning. I heard you guys were talking about me.
No, he's playing Lightfall right now.
Heard that campaign's ass.
Yeah, it's funny. I
washed ass, so it's dirty.
I reached out to Abanis today. I was like, "How is it?" He's like, "I'm playing it. I'll have more thoughts later or something." So I'm interested to see what Abanis has to say about Lightfall.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a couple people. I watched Persona stream a little bit of it. I watched a couple other people play. They look like they having fun, man. You know, so like I went on Twitter and saw a lot of people complaining about campaign being boring and not getting the strand abilities when you wanted them or stuff, and a lot of the complaints. But it's typical Destiny community and Destiny. Super hyped for the expansion that comes out. They complain. Did they drop Destiny for a while? Then they do another great trailer for the next expansion that gets them all hyped up, and rinse and repeat.
Those trailers are pretty good though, man.
The trailers are amazing. They need to be like, they must have got somebody from Hollywood or something that makes like Hollywood trailers to make their trailers, because their trailers are epic. It make me want to play the game. I can't stand that.
Lightfall.
It's all epic. It's like, but like the game don't even play like what you see in the trailers with the floating camera zooming around your hunter as he's like doing some super, and it's just like the game don't play like this.
No, and that's like the Halo. Let's real quick. Halo 3
Season 3.
Yeah, it comes out and they just released a new trailer for it. But that's kind of like the same thing with that trailer. You get these angles that you're just not going to get in the game, actual gameplay.
Yeah, I remember having this argument with Forte back when they first showed the multiplayer for Halo Infinite, and that's all they showed was that free floating camera, like just the very best, like the best no-scope shot ever, with like someone getting cut with the energy sword, and it's just like this ain't gameplay, man. Like, this ain't actual gameplay, Forte. That's gameplay. It's an engine. I'm like, that's not the same thing. So I want to see, like, in the HUD, like, the actual gameplay. Like, someone aiming and shooting, the gunplay. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see your little fancy super trailer, to just get people hyped, and then you get in the game and they get upset because you change the way mods work,
Yeah, I hear you, man. I am excited for season 3 of Halo Infinite. That's actually next Tuesday.
Sergeant 12 in the chat made a great example. Speaking of hype trailers, you should watch the finals trailer from Embark Studio. Like, that trailer for the finals had me so hyped. I was like, oh my god, what is this? I'm signing up. Soon as there's a closed test, I'm signing up. I gotta try this out. This game is amazing. It looks amazing. I played the game. Enrique, I mean,
that pause says it all, man. I know.
The controls were so bad. These controls were on like controller controls, were as bad as Crossfire X.
Oh wow.
they were so bad. I went to mouse and keyboard. Me, where I'm terrible at mouse and keyboard, so I just don't do it. But the controls were so bad that like I'm trying to strafe or I'm trying to turn around because someone is shooting at me, and it's like I'm turning a tank. Like I'm trying to turn and aim the barrel of my tank at something behind me, and it's taking like 5 hours to turn around. It was so bad. I was just like, I can't even play this unless I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. Hopefully it's better because I mean like it's a closed test. So it's like it's not like the game is actually out, but like I remember X Defiant having terrible controls. And the last time I played that, like a year and a half later, like it's much improved. So there's always opportunity to get better. But man, that trailer really had people like, this game is going to be the next big live service game. And it's like maybe not, because it's pretty bad. Plus, it was only one map, one mode, and I kind of found the whole game design to be boring. Like I did 2 matches and it was just like, yo, this is kind of boring already. So yeah, they gotta get more of a game there. Don't just be like, coming from the devs of Battlefield. I'm like, all right.
That's funny, man.
But this ain't Battlefield. So
ain't Battlefield.
you need to do a little bit more than that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, look, Slow-Mo, we're going to wrap up the show. Look, I want to thank everyone in the live chat for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Big shout out to B Money and Gaming Forte, who couldn't join us this evening. And also, big shout out to our special guest, Jay Bari. Please check out What's Up PlayStation podcast on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe it is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
So definitely check him and Persona out on What's Up PlayStation podcast.
Very, very good PlayStation podcast.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's really good. It's really, really good. And then also check out Slow-Mo and Forte tomorrow. Whose channel is DPS on tomorrow?
It is going to be on Forte's channel. And we should be having B Money joining us. I think he double checked. I double checked with him to see if he can still make it. I think he said he was good to go. So we should be having B Money coming through. He be knowing stuff. So hopefully B Money drops some jewels for us about some things PlayStation related. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but he might have some some use to share.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I saw. Man, Forte's already. He just dropped a YouTube video.
That's why he was doing instead of jumping on the show.
26 Renegade Grenade Launcher. Get this now before it's patched. Destiny 2 Season Defiance. 26 seconds ago, this video just released. Now we know what Forte. See, this is when Destiny hits. It's Forte he's back at the trap house, man.
Hey, but look, he's dropping content. Good for him.
Is he gonna make DPS tomorrow?
He better make DPS tomorrow. He's hosting. I actually might be making a video myself because I've been playing The Division, and I made the sniper build. I saw
that tweet you put out like yesterday, I think it was, right?
Yeah. It's a sniper build for those who suck at sniping, like myself. Like I'm more of a running gun, shooter kind of guy, and
makes sense.
Like
King KD, I get it.
Stop it, Ricky. But no, like they dropped a lot of like new builds in The Division in this latest update that are very focused on marksman stuff and long range shooting. And I just put a build together that works for me, for somebody that like don't necessarily hit every headshot. So, but if you hit them in the body, you could be doing millions of damage still. So it's like it kind of works that way. So like I may do a build video on that because I can see a lot of people maybe getting some use out of it. Woo! Church Keys, 8,800 hours in Division 2, sir.
Oh wow!
I can't.
That's a lot.
You. I ain't got that much. Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. All right. Well, check out DPS podcast tomorrow night, and We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So until then, have a great rest of the week and enjoy playing video games. That's what it's about. We'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Peace.